ожидаемом коридоре.
Expected situation will remain favorable for Russian producers. Yesterday, exchange rate was slightly below the forecasted level. However, the troy ounce price was higher than the lower floor limit. So generally, things look good despite ruble appreciation.
Top 20 of major Russian gold producers as of the end of 2016. This is how it looks like. Two columns here. We have an obvious leader, Polus. We have also this company in the second place, Polymetal, and we have all the rest. You can see how the top 5 companies are have made significant progress compared with the second 5 companies, and then by the end of this top 20, the difference, the gap between is quite significant. And here, the companies at the end of this list are significantly different from the beginning of the list. If we're talking about efficiency of Russian producers in the current situation, here we put together full costs of producers, what we call all-in sustaining costs in Russia and globally. And this brief analysis shows us that despite, at least at the end of 2016, when there was no strengthening of the Russian ruble, Russian producers were in a very good situation against their competitors. Even at the bottom border of majors is still higher, the lower border of costs for Polus and Polymetal. And altogether, if we talk about average indicator, it looks fairly good against the common background. Barrick Golds, for example, have pretty low costs, but still Polus looks good. As for the price situation in rubles, if we're talking about ruble prices for gold, the green line shows us fixing of the central bank defined in rubles, and the straight line is that artificial border voiced by the chairperson of Gold Miners Union, Mr. Kashuba, $1,100 per ounce at the rate of 57 rubles per dollar, calculated in grams. That's a little over 2,000 rubles per gram. And the situation now is, the curve of real price is much higher than this minimum level, and it went below it only once in the last few years, and only for a brief period of time. If we talk about what is in the making and how they plan to increase production of gold from the mineral ores, how it's going to happen, and here is my summary of major projects, not just mines, but such projects as autoclave at Petropavlovsk. They are going to take gold out of certain types of raw materials, and we have projects that bring more than 2 tons of gold per year. And the difficulty is, if we look at the list of Russian gold miners, we will see very few public companies there. I'm sorry if you are present in this room and you have a major project to be launched, and if it's not in the list, we are just not aware of it. This is what's bad about this industry. Next slide. And finally, just a few words about where Russian gold is used. If we talk about refined metals and not counting floats, concentrates, and that are exported